What if the biggest thing stopping you from moving forward is not your situation, your ability, or your lack of opportunity, but your own mind? You may think you are making decisions freely, yet your mind is constantly looking for comfort, avoiding uncertainty, protecting you from failure, and repeating familiar patterns. It can make you delay important work, overthink simple problems, doubt yourself, and return to habits you promised to change. The most surprising part is that many of these patterns happen without you noticing them. Today, you will discover how your mind quietly keeps you stuck, and how you can start taking back control. Your mind is designed to protect you, but protection is not always the same as progress. It often chooses what feels familiar over what could help you grow. That is why you can know exactly what you should do and still find yourself avoiding it. You may create excuses, worry about what could go wrong, or tell yourself that you will start tomorrow. These patterns can feel normal because they happen repeatedly. In this lesson, you will learn why your mind behaves this way, how your thoughts influence your actions, and how small changes in awareness can help you break patterns that have been holding you back. Lesson 1: Your mind chooses comfort before growth. Have you ever wanted to do something important, but suddenly found yourself looking for an easier option? Maybe you plan to study, exercise, start a project, or learn a new skill. Yet when the moment came, your mind gave you a reason to wait. This happens because your mind naturally pays attention to comfort and safety. Familiar situations require less mental effort. You already know what to expect, so they feel easier. Growth, however, often requires uncertainty. You may have to make mistakes, face criticism, or feel uncomfortable while learning something new. Imagine someone who wants to improve their English. They know that speaking regularly will help them become more confident. But speaking in front of others feels uncomfortable, so they keep watching lessons without actually speaking. Watching feels safe. Speaking creates uncertainty. Without realizing it, their mind chooses comfort over progress. The problem is not that comfort is bad. Rest and familiar routines are important. The problem begins when comfort becomes the main reason for every decision. Your mind may say, "Start tomorrow," "You are not ready," or "There is no need to change right now." These thoughts can sound reasonable, but sometimes they are simply ways of avoiding discomfort. Real growth usually begins when you notice this pattern and choose a small action despite the discomfort. You do not need to make a huge change today. Take one step that feels slightly uncomfortable but moves you forward. When you repeatedly choose progress over automatic comfort, your mind gradually learns that growth can be safe, rewarding, and worth the effort. Lesson 2: Why you keep delaying what really matters. You may have an important goal, a task you know you should complete, or a decision you have been avoiding for weeks. Yet somehow, there is always a reason to wait. You tell yourself, "I will do it when I have more time," or "I will start when I feel ready." This is often how procrastination begins. Procrastination is not always about being lazy. Sometimes, your mind delays an action because the action creates discomfort. A difficult task may make you feel uncertain, nervous, or afraid of making a mistake. Avoiding it gives you immediate relief. For a moment, you feel better because the pressure disappears. But the task does not disappear. It simply moves into the future. Imagine you need to prepare for an important presentation. Instead of starting, you check your messages, organize your desk, or watch a few videos. These activities feel easier because they do not challenge you in the same way. Your mind receives a small reward for avoiding the difficult task. The danger is that repeated avoidance becomes a pattern. The more often you delay something uncomfortable, the easier it becomes to delay it again. The solution is not waiting for motivation. Start before you feel completely ready. Break the task into a small action. Open the document. Write the first sentence. Study for 10 minutes. Make the first call. When an important task feels difficult, ask yourself, "What is the smallest useful action I can take right now?" Sometimes, taking that first step is enough to break the cycle. Lesson 3: How your thoughts quietly shape your decisions. Before you make a decision, there is often a thought behind it. You may think, "I can handle this," or "this will probably go wrong." These thoughts may seem small, but they can influence what you do next. Your mind constantly interprets the world around you. When something happens, you give it meaning. That meaning can affect your emotions, and your emotions can influence your actions. Imagine two people receiving the same opportunity to speak in front of a group. One thinks, "This is a chance to improve." The other thinks, "Everyone will notice my mistakes." The situation is the same, but their decisions may be completely different. One steps forward. The other avoids the opportunity. This is why your thoughts deserve attention. A thought is not always a fact. Sometimes it is simply your mind making a prediction based on fear, past experiences, or assumptions. If you automatically believe every negative thought, you may start making decisions based on possibilities rather than reality. You might avoid applying for a job because you assume you are not qualified. You might avoid meeting new people because you expect rejection. You might stop learning something because you believe you are not naturally talented. Instead of accepting every thought immediately, pause and question it. Ask yourself, is this actually true? What evidence do I have? What would I do if I were not afraid of failing? You cannot stop every negative thought from appearing. But you can decide whether that thought deserves control over your next action. When you learn to question your thoughts, you create space between what your mind says and what you choose to do. Lesson 4: Why your mind makes small problems feel bigger. Have you ever had a small problem that somehow became the biggest thing on your mind? Maybe you sent a message and did not receive a reply. Suddenly, you started wondering if you had said something wrong. Or perhaps you made one mistake at work and began thinking that you were not good enough. This happens because your mind does not simply react to events. It also creates stories about what those events might mean. When something is uncertain, your mind may try to predict the worst possible outcome. It does this because preparing for danger can feel safer than being surprised by it. But when this pattern becomes automatic, a small problem can quickly become a source of unnecessary stress. For example, imagine that your manager asks to speak with you tomorrow. You do not know why. Instead of waiting for the conversation, your mind may create several negative explanations. You begin worrying about losing your job, making mistakes, or disappointing someone. Notice what happened. Nothing has actually changed. The conversation has not even happened. Your mind simply filled the empty space with predictions. The key is to separate facts from stories. Ask yourself, what do I know for certain? Then ask, what am I assuming? This simple habit can change the way you respond to problems. You do not need to ignore genuine difficulties. You need to stop adding imaginary problems to real ones. When your mind starts making a situation feel bigger, pause. Take a breath. Look at the facts. Then focus on the next useful action. A calm mind does not mean having no problems. It means refusing to let assumptions make every problem feel larger than it really is. Lesson 5: The hidden power of the way you talk to yourself. There is a voice you hear more often than anyone else's, your own. It comments on your choices, mistakes, abilities, and future. Because you hear it every day, you may not notice how strongly it influences you. Imagine making a mistake while learning something new. You could tell yourself, "I always fail at this. I will never be good at it." Or you could say, "I made a mistake, but I can learn from it." The situation has not changed, but your response has. This is the power of self-talk. The words you repeat to yourself can gradually shape the way you see yourself. If you constantly describe yourself as weak, unlucky, incapable, or unsuccessful, your mind may begin treating those descriptions as facts. That does not mean you should repeat empty positive statements and pretend everything is perfect. Realistic self-talk is more powerful. Instead of saying, "I cannot do this," try, "I have not learned how to do this yet." Instead of saying, "I always make mistakes," say, "I made a mistake, and I can improve." Instead of saying, "Everyone is better than me," ask, "What can I learn from someone who is ahead of me?" The goal is not to become unrealistically positive. The goal is to become fair and constructive with yourself. Pay attention to your internal language today. When you catch yourself using a harsh or limiting statement, pause and question it. Ask, "Would I speak this way to someone I care about?" If the answer is no, change the way you speak to yourself. Your inner voice may not control your entire life, but it can strongly influence the actions you believe you are capable of taking. Lesson 6: Why you repeat habits you know are holding you back. Have you ever promised yourself that you would stop doing something, only to find yourself doing it again a few days later? You know the habit is not helping you, yet changing it feels surprisingly difficult. This happens because habits are not controlled by intention alone. Many habits become automatic through repetition. Your mind learns to connect certain situations with familiar actions, often without requiring a conscious decision. For example, imagine someone who wants to spend less time on their phone. They sit down to work, feel slightly bored or uncomfortable, and immediately check their notifications. The action takes only a moment, but it provides instant stimulation. Over time, the brain begins connecting boredom with checking the phone. The problem is not simply the habit itself. It is the pattern surrounding it. A useful way to change a habit is to notice three things: the trigger, the action, and the reward. What happens immediately before the habit? What do you do next? And what feeling or benefit do you receive from doing it? Once you understand the pattern, you can begin changing it. Instead of relying only on willpower, make the unwanted action harder and the better action easier. Put distractions farther away. Prepare what you need before starting. Replace an unhelpful routine with a healthier response that satisfies the same need. Most importantly, do not expect one decision to erase a habit immediately. Repetition created the pattern, and repetition can create a new one. The next time you repeat a habit you want to change, do not simply blame yourself. Become curious. Ask, what triggered this behavior, and what was I trying to get from it? Understanding the pattern gives you something powerful, a place to intervene. And once you can interrupt the pattern, you can begin building a different one. Lesson 7: How your mind creates invisible limits. Sometimes, the strongest barriers in your life are not physical. They are beliefs you have accepted about yourself. You may think, "I am not confident, I am not creative, I am bad at speaking," or "people like me cannot succeed in this field." These statements can feel like facts, but they may simply be conclusions created from past experiences. Your mind likes consistency. Once you develop an idea about who you are, you may unconsciously look for evidence that supports it. If you believe you are not good at speaking, one awkward conversation can feel like proof. But 10 successful conversations may be forgotten. This can create an invisible limit. Imagine someone who wants to apply for a better position but decides not to apply because they assume they are not qualified enough. They never receive a rejection. They never discover what could have happened. Their belief made the decision before reality had a chance to answer. Past experiences can influence you, but they do not have to define your future. When you notice a limiting belief, question where it came from. Ask yourself, did I choose this belief, or did I simply repeat it for years? Then look for evidence that challenges it. Maybe you are not confident yet, but you have improved before. Maybe you have made mistakes, but you have also learned from them. Maybe you are inexperienced, but that does not mean you are incapable. You do not need to convince yourself that you can achieve everything instantly. You only need to stop treating every limitation as permanent. Growth begins when you replace "this is who I am" with "this is where I am right now." Your current ability is a starting point, not a final destination. Lesson 8: How to take back control of your mind. You cannot control every thought that enters your mind. You cannot prevent fear, doubt, distraction, or negative predictions from appearing. But you can become better at deciding what you do with those thoughts. The first step is awareness. When you notice yourself delaying something, overthinking a problem, repeating negative self-talk, or returning to an unwanted habit, pause instead of reacting automatically. Ask yourself, what is happening in my mind right now? Then separate the thought from the fact. A thought such as "I will fail" is a prediction, not a guarantee. A feeling such as fear is real, but it does not always mean you are in danger. Next, choose a small action that moves you forward. If you are avoiding a difficult task, work on it for 10 minutes. If you are afraid to speak, say one sentence. If you keep reaching for a distraction, put it away and return to what matters. Small actions are powerful because they teach your mind something new. Discomfort does not have to control your behavior. You should also design your environment to support the person you want to become. Make useful habits easier to start and unhelpful habits harder to repeat. Choose people, routines, and surroundings that support your goals. Most importantly, stop waiting to feel completely ready. Your mind may always give you reasons to stay comfortable. The goal is not to silence those reasons. The goal is to hear them without automatically obeying them. You are not every thought you have. You are the person who can notice a thought, question it, and choose what happens next. That is where real control begins. Your mind can protect you, guide you, and help you survive difficult moments, but it can also keep you inside familiar patterns. The important thing is to notice when comfort becomes avoidance, when thoughts become limits, and when habits begin making decisions for you. You do not need to change everything at once. Start by becoming aware, questioning what holds you back, and choosing one better action. The moment you stop reacting automatically and start choosing deliberately, you begin creating a different life. If you enjoyed this lesson, make sure to like the video. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Subscribe to the channel for more powerful English lessons. Don't forget to turn on the bell icon so you never miss a new lesson. In the comments, tell us what is the one thing you want to change about yourself after watching this? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.